So earlier this year, the courts ruled that if a politician lies, there's no legal ramifications for this, unless they lie in court. And maybe it's just me, but I have seen the Conservatives massively ramp up their bullshit and lies in this election. It's not just that they're subtly misleading people, it's the tactics that they've used by changing the official Conservative press office to change it so that it gives the appearance of being an independent fact-checking organisation. But they knew exactly what they were doing because they quickly changed it back after just a few hours. And of course they're going to use these tactics because Bojo the cowardice clown employed two of the brainchilds behind Cambridge Analytica, an incredibly shady organisation that avoided all kinds of prosecution because they went into liquidation. But the misleading things like Sajid Javid coming out saying that Labour's tax plan will cost £2,000 extra to hard-working people. First and foremost, it's important to note that in the Conservative mind, as far as the politicians go, unless you're earning £70,000 to £80,000 a year, they don't class you as hard-working. We've seen that from Matt Hancock himself in previous statements he made when he was a younger man. But Sajid Javid is not just misleading people with his statement, he is lying. Labour's new tax plan won't affect practically anyone who's going to watch this video. Unless you're earning over £80,000 a year, you're not going to be touched by it. But the Conservatives' plan, the Conservatives' ploy and tactics is to hope that people don't do the independent political research because most media will not call them out for it. And when you have people like Nielsen. I'll correct myself with his name in the description box down below. When people like that and Piers Morgan, my God, why are you making me side with Piers Morgan? But when people like that are calling out the Conservatives for their awful lies, it really has to make people stop and think. Now, my previous video was a snippet of Good Morning Britain. I hate the fact that they changed the name to that. But their interview with a Conservative Party member. And the Conservatives are still pushing out this lie. 50,000 new nurses, except 19,000 are already nurses. That's not 50,000 new nurses. It's 30 or 31. But still, they maintain 50,000 new nurses. They still maintain 40 new hospitals. But again, you look at the proposal and it's 6 new hospitals will get a renovation. An undetailed renovation, which could be a lick of paint, could be a full thing. But it's a lie because they're not building any new hospitals. They're just refurbishing in some way. And even then, it's not refurbishing 40 hospitals. It's 6. It's not 50,000 new nurses because 19,000 of them are already nurses today. And how exactly are they going to do this? Because less and less people are going into nursing because the Conservatives for almost 10 years have been destroying the NHS with constant privatisation and defunding. Theresa May came out and said no government has ever given more to education. That's a lie. The Conservatives now coming out and saying no government has ever funded the NHS or given more to the NHS than we have. That is a lie. Constant lies from the Conservatives because legally a politician can say whatever they want. And as Dominic Raab said, No one gives a toss if a politician lies. The current tactics employed by Conservatives are not only dishonest, dishonourable, but outright fucking disgusting. They seem to want to make people think that all the problems that this country has experienced since 2010 have been a direct result of Labour. And Labour's going to do so much worse because Corbyn is a terrorist. Again, I said in a video I dedicated specifically to Corbyn, find me the actual interview. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that interview doesn't exist. I've been looking for it and I haven't found it. But I have found that there are Conservative members who were former IRA members. I have found that Boris Johnson took a massive donation from Russian backers, and now Boris Johnson is sitting on a report of Russian interference into the UK politics and refusing to let it go when our intelligence agencies said there's no reason why he shouldn't make it public. Over and over and over again, the Conservatives lie. This is not acceptable. For God's sake, get out and vote. And for fuck's sake, if you care about this country, if you have loved ones in this country, don't vote Conservative.